Let's see. We should be feeding out to the folks out there. I'm gonna um, give this a couple of seconds here for everyone to join in. And as you guys come in here, just smash those thumbs ups. We appreciate that here, and it helps with the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. Just as a programming note, so today's Wednesday. We usually do the VanNoisSeur podcast on Thursdays. So we're going to do episode 4 today, and tomorrow we're going to do episode 5, which is going to have Nick Recchio of Coachman Class B. He's the general manager over there. He'll be joining us. So, come back in. You're getting a twofer this week. We didn't do last week. So there you go. That being said, I think I'm ready. Pavel, I don't know. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
There's no time like the present. All right, so for everyone joining us, let's get this kicked off. Let's just jump in there. We're going to be here for an hour. Please feel free. Anyone out there, ask questions. I'll try to get to as many questions as we possibly can here. So definitely put those in. Let's do this thing. Sure, that's right. And so joining me live today, as I said, on a Wednesday special show, we've got Pavel. Is it Bosovik? Am I saying that right?
Yes, sir. Right on point.
Pavel Bosovik of 27North. Am I pronouncing Pavel as well? I know some people have an issue.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, Pavel. I know that this is not the easiest thing to do in the world, right? Basically, for people who want to know out there, the title of this show is 27North CEO responds to Donut Media video. We broke $1 million off-road camper, which was the Ascender from 27North. And I know it's not an easy thing to come on, go live, or even just go public when something that from some people can be misconstrued as a very bad negative thing like this goes very obviously public. The video from Donut Media is, I think it's approaching 2 million views. And
Yeah.
I'll pop something up on that here real quick if I can, Pavel. Let me see. I'll do this just so that the folks out there
Yeah, of course.
know what we're talking about. Let me switch over to my phone here so I can share with folks. This is the video we're talking about. We broke $1 million off-road camper. So that's exactly what we're talking about here. If you guys don't know, there will be a link in the description that you can go to and check that video out. Maybe after this, I would say. Do it after this, or if you're watching this later, you could do it first and then come back and do this. So shout out to everyone that's out there. We appreciate you guys joining us. Smash the thumbs ups and leave questions and all that kind of stuff. We'll get to it. Pavel, I want to start with you explaining to the folks out there who you are and how you started 27North.
Yes, thank you, Hank, so much. I'm deeply honored to be on your channel and excited to be able to share a little bit about our history and where the vision came from. So, after college, I had gone into construction and working 7 days a week, late nights. At that time, we had 4 foster kids. Had a 2 a.m. call with, "Hey, we got 4 little siblings, sub-freezing temperatures. Can you guys take them in?" It was 2 a.m. in the morning. We took them in, and we just realized, what parenting is like, and the amount of work and resources you need to be able to give kids a new start. And my wife and I just sat down one evening and we were like, these kids are on a successful path to reunification. And if we're going to be working 7 days a week in construction, why don't we go into an industry where we can make an impact?
Okay. All
At
right.
that time, we had our first.
Mhm.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, you're good.
So at that time, we had our first fifth wheel RV, and we noticed that while it's built for its purposes, if you compare a fifth wheel RV to a Bravos Class A, you can say a lot of rude and mean things about it. But when you compare a fifth wheel to a fifth wheel and what it's designed for, it's an awesome product. I want to make sure we're comparing apples to apples.
Right.
But it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. We were more expecting of an expedition vehicle. And seeing all the points that it lacked in, we were like, why don't we design our own version of that can suit the needs that we need? And so we purchased our first van, had started in my mom's garage. This was 2020, and we converted our first van. We put it on Instagram, Facebook, and it seemed like it just went viral. So many people from all over the country wanted one. And we didn't stop there. We're like, okay, the van is awesome, it's perfect, but we're limited to off-road capabilities. So at that point, sales took off. We were doing really well, acquired our own facilities, and then we're like, let's take it to the next level. Let's design an expedition truck. And that's where the vision for the Ascender came. And I just kind of went out in the market and did a lot of industry research, and I didn't see quite what I wanted. So I went to the drawing board and I started designing a shell that's aerodynamic, that can withstand crosswinds. Crosswinds is an important thing for me. Whenever I'm driving, I have a CDL, I kind of can navigate it, but not everyone has that experience. Like when my wife would be driving, I'd want something that can tackle crosswinds. That's where the shape on the side came from. And we started, I would say, it was probably early 22, about a year-ish ago. We started building it, and we just put together a team of people who saw the vision the way that we did. Engineer, a guy with 22 years in the industry with modifying suspensions, and we just started building it in the back of our warehouse. Like, we didn't have fancy robots or welding machines or $1 million worth of R&D money. We just worked with the resources we had, and came out with the prototype Ascender that you see before you on the screen.
Right. So I think, it's really important for folks out there to realize that you guys are a relatively young company, right? So from what I'm hearing here, the company started like in 2020?
Yes, sir. 2020, we just celebrated our 3-year anniversary last year.
Okay, so relatively small company. And the Ascender is kind of like a halo vehicle and also a prototype. Am I correct with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I think one of the questions, and like I said, I'll take questions from folks out there. I think that perhaps my audience is more of a Class B audience, so they might not have seen this Donut Media video. It's pretty big. They might not have seen it yet. Yeah. But so 27North, you build on vans, right? So I think you build on the ProMaster chassis. I see here that Travel Dreamer is saying, what is the smallest chassis that you guys build on? So the smallest would be the ProMaster, right?
Correct. We build a ProMaster. The Sprinter 144 is not much bigger than that. It is height, but not lengthwise. And then we also specialize in Ford Transits.
Ford Transit. So basically the 3 chassis that are out there, you build on that. We do, just so everyone knows, we do have a relationship because one of your dealers is Sunshine State RV, which I have obviously a financial relationship with. I do videos with them. I've done videos with you on their behalf. But I think you and I met first at SEMA Show.
Yeah.
That's probably at least a year ago at this point. More than a year, probably.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that story later. But so you build on the vans, and I think we were talking about at the Overland Expo West, the Rex Rover, which is based on a Ford F-250.
Yes,
right?
sir.
You have that. We'll get into that later here. And then, so the Ascender is your halo vehicle, and in this video it says, what is it? It says 1.2 million, right? So,
yes, sir.
If you can explain to us what exactly is the Ascender, and I think you're in it right now, right?
That's correct. I am in the Ascender. That was featured in that Donut YouTube video.
You're in it, yes. And maybe we'll have Pavel walk around and show you guys. But what was the full blown concept of the Ascender, this prototype? What were you going for? And then I think you also made some promises that Donut Media talked about. So I want to, what was the actual use for this Ascender? What was it supposed to do? Where is it supposed to go, etc.?
Yeah, so we set out on a journey to design the ultimate expedition vehicle, something that can essentially go places your traditional RVs can't go. I've seen one too many stories of people trying to take traditional RVs, which aren't designed for off-roading or national parks in this case, uh, and then they get damaged. We've even had fatal accidents happen here in the States. Um, we hear that on the news all the time. And so what we wanted to do is just kind of take it to the next level. And we tackled it from all fronts. So similar to what we did when we launched our Class B lines of RVs, we made a list of all the things we believed was lacking in the industry, and it includes things like I had mentioned: crosswind, air filtration, self-sustainable, like completely, truly self-sustainable. I'm very passionate about wood products, so I wanted to incorporate wood products, but not add to the waste. As you can see here in my background, real
Hmm.
walnut, real wood products throughout the unit.
Okay. And so this 1.2 million that everyone's talking about, and I'm trying to get everyone to realize here that, yes, this is a very expensive vehicle, but you guys are not a big budget company, right? You kind of put a lot of money, kind of, I don't want to say bet the farm and put words in your mouth, but you put a lot of money into this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of money's. I think money's the just one aspect. The time,
Mm-hmm.
the sweat, the tears.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Okay.
times when you take on a big project, you have doubts and want to quit. And
Yeah.
so a lot of emotion, even blood. Cut finger there and a smashed finger there. So we, with pride,
Okay.
say we put sweat, blood, and tears into this project.
So how much of that 1.2 million, because we can separate these kinds of vehicles, just like we do vans, we can separate it into the house side, right, which we can obviously see in your shot here. We can separate it into the house side and then the vehicle side itself. So what goes in, what did you do with the vehicle? It's I think, what is it, a F550?
Yes, sir. 550.
F550, what's in that vehicle standard as you bought it, cost wise and things
Yeah.
like that? I'd like to know. And then what did you guys add to that? I don't think it's in question here, in not definitely not in the video from Donut Media, of the beauty inside, right? It looked
Yeah.
really good inside. They spent time inside of it. I think they might have asked about, like, having a glass door for the bathroom. In a video, in a van, in a
Yeah.
vehicle that goes off road. But how much money and stuff like that went into each side?
Yeah, so to answer that question, I kind of have to take a step back and kind of explain the different classes. So, in order to understand and respect or understand and value the costs we put into this unit, you really have to understand the end user. So, there's different levels of overlanding and off-grid traveling. You have your entry level, kind of where I started off my journey with my brother-in-law, is taking a Jeep or a pickup truck and rooftop tent, and I was a part of his journey when he was building that out. You have that category, and so
Mm-hmm.
to put a class door into that level, it doesn't really make sense. What we
Mm-hmm.
tried to do is we tried to tailor to the other end of the spectrum. The higher class, higher end travel. People always ask me, how long do people travel in this? And I'll be honest, some of our clients 2 to 3 times a year for a couple of weeks, and then they keep it in their collection. So I always say you don't have to agree with it; you just have to understand it. And so
Mm-hmm.
for us, based on the truck, it's we go with the Lariat, so fully loaded on our lot after deliveries and stuff. You're pushing 90,000 just for the truck. Then you have some of the high cost items. We use all real leather, so we wrap the seats in real leather and suede. The dinette cushions in the back, real leather. We use exotic leather, cowhides, and things that are both respected in the community, and nothing of that poaching stuff. And so you got close to $12,000 just in leather work. Then you got your unique Cambrian quartz countertops, that puts a high sticker. The shower door, since we're on the subject of it,
Mm-hmm.
I think between the hardware and engineering a double pane glass, that even if you were to have a rollover accident or any kind of incident, for the glass to be able not to hurt anyone back here, we were about close to 6,000 installed already.
So you guys did think
Another
about that, right? You did think about what if someone like fell into the glass or the vehicle rolled over,
Yeah.
what would happen with the
Oh
glass?
yeah.
Okay. And then
Oh, yeah.
also, am I wrong on this? I think the windows are bulletproof. Is that true or not?
So on this one, we did a ballistic grade glass.
Okay.
That's not standard. That's part of the
Mhm.
upgrade cost. So yes, another reason why this one came, because they start at 750. If you look on our website, they start at 750,000. We do
Mhm.
offer a security package. We partner up with a military, or I guess that's the wrong word, a security company that does
Mhm.
ballistic grade stuff
Okay.
on doors and windows. And so we do offer a security package that adds,
Mhm.
huge part of the cost. Then you have, I think the next most expensive item probably this electrical system. We partnered up with Navico on this one. I'm gonna estimate. I think it was upwards of $70,000 in batteries. So we have a 2,000 amp hour lithium battery pack, two 3,500 watt inverters, giving you 7,000 watts of inverter. We did three digital screens, so as you can see, one here behind me. I guess it'd be on that side
Mhm.
right there.
Mhm.
One by the bed and one here in the dinette where I'm sitting, and
Okay.
then the iPad interface that controls it all. So those are kind of the high ticket items on it.
Okay, so construction wise, and I know we're gonna get into this here, but Levi Coverdale says when the drive shaft broke, was it an overlook from the company or an error on Donut side? So we're gonna get into that. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this question again. But on the 4x4 side, right, the off roading or the go anywhere side of it, what was standard on what's standard on the Ascender, and what did you guys add?
So standard is the one that's the stock drive shaft that
Mm-hmm.
we had on it whenever we sent it to Donut Media. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
we partnered up with another company to upgrade it to a rugged off-grid kind of overlanding drive shaft and axle. So moving forward, that's one of the key things we've learned as we're approaching 22,000 miles now in off-road and on-road testing with this unit is we are going to be upgrading the rear axle and the drive shaft.
Okay, so were there any other off-road upgrades that were on there already with the vehicle? I'm trying to remember. I know I did a short on you guys.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
initially we did a Rayco Granning air suspension system in the back because that's just what's standard in expedition trucks. I was always a firm believer of doing more of stuff that doesn't require high maintenance. So with air suspension, you got airlines, you got to put, the motor that takes out the moisture out of the line. So it's really high maintenance. I want to more have like a simplest possible suspension. And so moving forward, we're deleting the air suspension, and we're gonna on the next round of tests gonna do just a standard bulky leaf spring suspension upgrade in the back and in the front.
Okay, all right. So let's get into how Donut Media got their hands on this. I know when I saw you at Overland West, which was in Flagstaff, Zach was there. What's his last
Yeah,
name? I think it's Zach Dial, something like that. Nice guy.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
he had that vehicle for a while leading up to the show, right? How long did Zach have it?
Oh, he had it for almost a month, if not more. He drove it from Georgia all the way to California and then back to um, Arizona, Sedona for the Overland Expo. So yeah, he put a lot of R&D miles on it, is what we call it.
Okay, so and if folks look at that video, you'll see Zach in that video, in the background of that video, as well as in the video that we did at Overland Show about the Rex Rover. So, to your knowledge, did Zach take it off road and do some off road stuff with it?
Oh yeah, you can go on my channel. You can go on Zach's channel. I think he did more extreme trails with it than Donut Media did,
Hmm.
but that's users' judgment. I may be biased towards Zach a little more, but I
Hmm.
think they both did extreme trails. But in my opinion, I think Zach did more extreme trails with it.
Okay, and like I said, Zach's a good guy. I think he
Yeah.
somehow did he connect you to the Donut Media folks?
No, so I met with Donut Media at SEMA in Las Vegas last year,
Okay.
and they did a feature on us at SEMA. We won a couple awards there, and then we kept the conversation going. And they're like, "Hey, we're doing this really cool video where we compare, a high-end expedition truck to an entry-level truck, like I was describing earlier in this
Hmm.
video."
Hmm.
And we were like, "Yeah, we'd love to." let you guys use it, and I think it went really well.
Okay. So just like walk me through briefly, how did this all I think we have like a minute and a half here. What did you think was going to happen here with Donut Media when they got their hands on this?
Honestly, I bragged the most about center of gravity. So whenever I was talking to the directors there and the cast, I was like, man, if you guys flip it, like, please get it on video. So I think overall went a lot better than I expected. But yeah, I thought they were going to attempt to, or not attempt to. I thought, the trail they were taking it's a fairly extreme trail. I thought it was going to flip.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's what you were worried about. And I know in their video there was a lot of swaying from the ascender, and I've even seen that in some things. Do you have an answer for that before we go on to the other stuff? We're probably going to take a break. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely. So I personally did one of the first trails with it. I, as the owner and the visionary behind it, I was like, if it's gonna flip, it's gonna flip on me. So I took it out to Mount Zion. There was a 30-degree climb trail that I did there. I think that's the most extreme trail this truck has done. But once again, each one has their right to their own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And so I personally did that trail. We had drones, we had cameras, we had a couple of overlanding guys there with us supervising, and it did really well. It proved my point. Air suspension is not the way to go for something that caliber. And so overall, I was confident in its abilities. But anytime you have someone new in it, there's always that concern. I think it's like
Yeah.
the
We're going to take a break. As you guys might have already heard, Lola and myself are brand ambassadors for Sunshine State RV. And as VanNoisSeurs, I want to take this moment to encourage anyone who is in the market for a Class B van to start their journey with SSRV.
Sunshine State RVs specializes in selling Class B vans and B plus RVs. That is the reason why they are the #1 dealer in all of the state of Florida.
Number 3 in the whole United States.
SSRV will fly you right to their location in Gainesville, Florida. They'll give you a very detailed and thorough walkthrough of your van, and they'll give you a 2-night stay at a local campground so you can get used to your van. If you don't like that, you can actually have hands-free delivery anywhere in the United States of your RV.
We bought our Coachman Beyond from Sunshine State RV 2 years ago. And over the past 2 years, we've seen how they treat customers when it comes to warranty side. Their service team is great. Whether you bought it from them or not, every person that comes in there gets the same service and care when it comes to warranty repairs. The same service, attention, and care. And their team does a great job getting you back on the road safely.
So if you guys are in the market for a B or B plus van, consider Sunshine State RV. We've got a link in the description that you guys can use to see their current inventory and have someone get in touch with you. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, Pavel. I know you were trying to finish your point there. Yeah, go ahead and finish your point. While you're doing that, I'll put up this comment from Mr. Champlain. He said it was very impressive that it didn't flip. And yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought, though.
Yeah, so that was our probably 6th very extreme 30-degree climb. Mm-hmm. So we advertised that it's rated for up to 30 degrees. And so I'm really passionate about pushing the limits on that. And so we've done time after time. That wasn't the first time we did a 30-degree climb. And so, it's people always say, Paul, you're so attached to your vehicle. And I am. Whenever you put in a fraction of your lifetime into it in hopes to give other people the ability to experience what you envision off-road traveling to be, expedition trips to be like, whether we're talking, northern Alaska, Anchorage, or even Baja, or anywhere that you want to take an expedition per se. And so anytime you have that kind of paranoia or concern, you want the best for your client. I always take each trip personally, and so yes, that was my main concern with Donut Media and any one of these influencers or YouTube that take it out for R&D and testing and reviews. I call genuine, honest reviews. I always have that concern, what if it does flip over? Because it's not there yet. Like, it's a prototype, and being a prototype, there's always that, the unknown.
Yeah. So let's get to Levi's question here with what did actually happen. He says, when the drive shaft broke, was it an overlook from you guys, do you think? Or was it an error on Donut's side? What's your feeling on this? That's the big thing. Looking at this video, they were having a good time comparing to, I think they were showing some kind of Toyota can't remember, was it a
Yeah.
Tundra or one of the Toyotas, maybe a Tacoma or something like that, versus the Ascender, and the main host there, he was having a really good time, him and one of the other guys staying in the Ascender,
Yeah.
cooking, doing all this kind of stuff. You run me through what happened in the video from your point of view when the drive shaft
Yeah.
broke.
It's definitely not Donut Media's fault, and it's definitely not an oversight on ours. It was an unknown. So
Okay.
being an unknown, you don't know what you don't know. And so what we learned was when you're going up a 30-degree climb, it's similar to rock climbing. There's multiple lines you can take. And if you, rock climbing, you put one wrong motion, you fall. Same with off-roading. You look at the most extreme rigs, like there's a YouTuber that did a recovery, and he had a phenomenal built-out rig, but one wheel in the wrong rut and the wrong twist, and it breaks. It's off-roading is it's beyond. It's an art. There's so many ways about it, and one of the unknowns that we learned is if we want to continue to push the limits of expedition trucks, then it's time to take the stock drive shaft and drivetrain to the next limit. And so now we went back to the drawing boards. We're working on a new upgraded axle, a new upgraded drive shaft, and a couple other components that I can't quite yet disclose.
Okay. All right. So it seems like they went up the hill because they were going up. They went up that hill at least once, and then came back down, and then had the guys switch out that were driving the Toyota, and then that's when this all happened. What do you think about that?
It's it's it is what it is. I'll say
It should be able to go up and down like 10 times or 100 times, in my opinion, right?
In theory, yes, but
Right.
once again, if you look at the team that recovered it, or even any off-road, I remember when my brothers were building out Jeeps, and they would take the original Cherokee, one of my favorite Jeeps, I think, minimal computers and so forth, and man, we would spend months building it out, and we would go out and have a good time, and then somewhere along the way, you turn too quick, you accelerate too quick, something breaks. I believe we as humans, if we're imperfect, it's impossible to make a perfect product. It's how enabled is the driver, the user, or a company willing to stand behind their product and have that continuous improvement.
Okay, and I think that, everything breaks out there, and when you're doing this stuff, from my very limited experience, you need to go slow, and then I think the bigger you are, the slower you need to go, right? So I know, I've done some of this stuff on small, like I had a Forerunner and stuff like that, and even with that, you need to go slow. So if you've got something even bigger, you really need to go slow and consider the weight and all that kind of stuff. Do you have any comment on the weight? Because I know I saw in the video there were a lot of comments on the weight, and I think in some articles that went up there were weight comments as well.
Yeah, so it's definitely not 20,000 pounds. I think they mistake us with maybe one of our competitors. I'm not sure. We weighed in 18,200 something whenever we sent it out to Donut Media, and that was with fuel and water in the tanks. And then we're in the process of cutting that down even more. Our goal is for the production model to be 15,000 pounds.
Okay, is that within...
in regards to...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's well within GBWR. Even right now where we're at, we're within GBWR. In regards to the second host in the video, I mean, I value and respect what Donut Media does. They helped the small startup company in Springfield, Missouri, make it. And I had two technicians go to O'Reilly's and Menards, and they were recognized there. So I'm forever grateful for what they did and the exposure they got us. I just wish people took some time and not judge us on a couple of key features that we're working on improving, and kind of seeing the big picture, the story, the vision, what we're trying to accomplish. I think that mirrors into the society we live in. Is like, give people a chance. Like, so many people have visions, and I think they're scared to do it because of the backlash. I have an employee that I've been trying to encourage to start a YouTube channel, and now he's even more scared to start a YouTube channel, reading some of these comments, and trying to explain to him it's just do it. Like, there's always going to be people that
things are going to go wrong. A couple, like maybe it was a month ago at this point, I had a blowout on the tire, and when I had that blowout, I made a video and I told everyone, this is all me. I'm the one that messed up. I made the mistakes. I should have done things better, but you learn from that and then you move on. And of course, there were people like, oh, you're stupid, you're terrible, you shouldn't have done it. And I take all of that, right? And I think that same thing goes for you guys. I think you're the company, you created the product, you make the claims and put it out there. And when things go wrong, you ultimately have to take the responsibility. And then on our side, we have to realize, hey, this is a new company that is pushing the limits and doing things, I think, in a very big way for a company that's relatively small. So things are going to go wrong, and we need to give you a chance to fix it. No one got hurt. We need to give you a chance. From the point of view of Donut Media, I don't know those guys, but I have run into them at SEMA. I have been looking at their stuff for a long time. They don't seem like bad guys. I don't think they did you wrong in the video. I don't think they were trying to do a hit piece on you guys or anything. They were really, really grateful in the video, and they were impressed and all that kind of stuff. But this is what happened, right?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, they did what we asked them to do. Like, why would we be upset at that? And so I know moving forward, another valuable lesson we learned from this, I know we talked about being honest and open. One thing we have in motion or in place already is a 5-day certification process. So whenever we do launch our production models in the coming year, we're looking and hoping for spring of next year. We have a off-road course that we're in the process of building. It's a 13-acre off-road course on site. It'll have 30-degree climbs. It'll have creeks. It'll have rocks, logs. And so each one of our clients is required to go through a 5-day certification. So a certified trainer is going to go through and teach them recovery, teach them how to do these 30-degree slopes, teach them, how to self-recover. So we'll have a sandbox where we're going to actually sink it in the sand and help the client self-recover out of the sand. We're going to have a mud pit where they can go in a mud pit. We're going to have, different scenarios that they'll come across as they take these expeditions across the beautiful country that we live in.
Okay, awesome. I'm putting up comments. I'm not necessarily getting to everything. If you guys have questions, let me know. Here's a tough question for me. Why did you guys leave the Ascender on that mountain for a week for other people to drive by there and see it out there?
Yeah, so envision a 30-degree slope, a 18,000-pound expedition vehicle prototype, and the recovery of that. So as you can envision, that's a really challenging recovery. And so it took us about 5 days to coordinate that recovery. And the cool thing is, another thing we learned from there is recovery. There's always the chance that, look at the boating industry, look at the aerospace industry, look at the RV industry. Things break, things get stuck. And I think we had, given the industry standard of, 3 months, 8 months, sometimes years to recover something, without naming any names, we had a 5-day recovery on a prototype. And so now we're putting together an entire manual for 24-hour recovery. Can we set the new industry standard? Imagine being able to advertise, hey, we have a 24-hour recovery in place. I think that would be phenomenal.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, and so Donut Media brought Matt's off-road recovery in there. I think he did a good job, right? Yeah. Did you guys know about all this? Did you say, okay, it's tough to get this out of there, we'll let these guys go in and do it?
Yeah, we went through multiple avenues of trying to recover it. We looked at cranes, trucks. I even entertained helicopter, military, Coast Guard helicopter. We
that would be expensive.
Every front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's unless you can get it to be like a training, but anyways. So yeah, we found that the most effective and efficient way of recovery was to do a collaboration with Matt's Off-Road Recovery. Donut Media and Zach did a wonderful job coordinating with our company and coordinating with those 2 YouTube channels to do that. And you saw it took less than 2 hours. Yeah,
he did a great job. So kudos for that. Let me see if I'm missing any questions or comments. Oh, okay. Greg Savage says you sent her in as an amazingly beautiful vehicle. Is it possible to get like entry-level version of it, like an industrial or scale down version? If you want to answer that.
Oh, most definitely. So the Ascender starts at the 750. That's our Rex Rover interior. So instead of walnut, you get aluminum cabinetry like on our Rex Rover. You get cloth panels like you would see in a traditional expedition truck. We
Mm-hmm.
downsized all the speakers and leathers to make it more, I call it utilitarian. So that's, I would say that model is more for your true overlanders. So if you're really going to be out in the mud, out, snowboarding, all those things, then yes, we do have an entry level ascender for that purpose.
All right, cool. So let's here. Let me see what time we got. Okay, we got like 7.5 minutes. Can we, since you're there, right? You've got the vehicle. Can we actually get a look at it? Maybe. I think you're using your phone
Yeah,
here.
most
So if
definitely.
you can, I'll go full screen on you right now. Let's get a look. Let's show people. If let's show the folks out there what we can. Bear with us here. Obviously,
Yeah.
Pavel's got to get out of it. So what do you do? You're gonna do a quick show. Yeah. So everything's good on the
Yeah,
inside,
we're going to
right?
start with the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the back. It's the dinette. I want to highlight we got an air filtration system in here. So if you're ever desert, you got sand, smoky, you can air filter the air as it comes through here. We have the dinette here in the back with the slide table to help you get in and out without taking up extra space. You got your 6-inch green tea leaf infused memory foam cushions. This is your cooking area here. You got the upper cabinets here, real walnut. We use the marine grade latches that kind of keep the cabinets from closing, and then you got a rack system for your plates, your control screen here. We have a full fridge here, so I'm 6 foot, and it's almost as tall as me here. Coming here on this side, you have a full shower wet bath. This is that glass door that everyone's been talking about.
Right.
And so you have your sink, electric mirror, LED, and so forth. And then back here, you have your bed. So
Massive.
we take pride, yeah, RV Kings. So we're pushing about 6.5 by 6.5 feet, and then on our production model, we're going to bring the front up a little bit to give you a little bit more headroom there, and then we got the awesome pass through here,
Right.
pass through to the front, and then I'm going to go outside. We're next to a major street, so it might be a little bit loud, so I
Yeah.
apologize in advance.
Yeah, absolutely. Bear with us with the noise and everything out here, guys. But I want you guys to get a look at this since it came off the mountain. First look.
Yeah,
So it
it
still
just
lives.
got back.
She
We
still
haven't
lives.
done any-
Hmm. Yeah. Go for it. Okay.
Yeah, so we just got back from California, so we haven't done any of the major upgrades yet. It's all still a work in progress. But it drove itself off the mountain. We upgraded the drag shaft, and it drove itself back from California all the way to Missouri. Like I said, we're pushing 22,000 miles in RV testing. You got the big wheels. It's pretty tall there. The coating, I mentioned in one of my other videos, we do a Kevlar-based product to ensure it doesn't scuff and scratch as the traditional liners do. Compartment doors throughout. So another important thing, making sure you can access to repair it or service it when you're traveling. Speakers are an upgrade option that's not standard. A lot of people ask, why is there so many speakers? Speakers on the top. Standard would be a roof rack. We put speakers because it's our prototype and we take it to trade shows. Spare tire with its own winch system, and then a secondary winch on the bottom there.
Okay. So now, are you going underneath so we can see that drive shaft? Are you going back in? Oh, okay.
What was that?
Yeah, I said, are you going underneath so we could see what's going on underneath, or are you not showing that now?
Yeah, did you want to see the...
Yeah, I think the
Yeah, I
folks
can
out
show
there
the
would,
jack
would like to show that. Yeah, let's see what it looks like underneath. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Just for the record. Okay, there you go.
Let me know if you...
All right.
Better yet, I wish I had more than 7 minutes. I would go
Yeah.
illustrate by driving on some...
Oh, drive around. Yeah.
Go over
Oh,
some curves.
Yeah, we still have 3 minutes. If you want to drive around, you can.
Drive over some curbs and stuff.
Oh, that's up to you, man, if you want to do it. Travel Dreamer 46 says Kevlar lining is a huge plus.
Yeah.
Let me get a comment here from Living Working Outside Box. Says, what type of subframe to frame system did this have? Zero torsion subframe versus multi-spring type connection, or changes in type of subframe planned? That's the question.
Yeah, great question. So for our prototype model, we started with foam. And so we took foam and we cut out foam panels and made a foam box. Then we transitioned the foam into a steel. So we had plasma cut panels out of steel and we made this shell. Moving forward, we have a patent pending panel. I can't go into the details, but that's what's going to help us cut down the weight drastically to 15,000 pounds. In regards to mounting it to the frame, we do have a system that allows the shell to move free from the truck and chassis, so that whenever you are climbing those slopes or driving down a bumpy road, that allows the shell to flex. And then going away from the air suspension to a liquid spring style suspension gives it that ability to be able to not, lack of a better phrase, bounce or go back and forth as much.
Okay, cool. And we've got about a minute and a half here. I'm just going to get this comment up from Deborah and let you say what you think about it. She says, Donut Media used clickbait to sensationalize. There's a lot that went right with the Ascender, but that doesn't get clicks. It didn't flip. I was surprised by that. Do you think they clickbaited folks out there?
I think if you're in the YouTube industry, you understand that the cover photo has to be appealing or attractive. And we don't have to agree with them. We just have to understand that if you want a YouTube video to do very well, you got to put something attractive on the thumbnail.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And they could have been a lot more brutal. And we showed the thumbnail here in the beginning. It really wasn't that bad. But yeah, title and everything. I mean, that is what happened. So they didn't lie to you guys out there. And they could have been a lot worse. You know, but you know, yes, you're right. As a YouTuber, I have to say a lot of this has to do with attention, right? And I know that sounds bad, but you know, everyone's competing for attention out there. But I feel like the Donut Media guys, and even I looked at this with Lola and she agreed with me. They were really very good to you guys and very fair in everything that they did. And they had 15 minutes to do that. You know, I do long videos. Not everyone does that and puts in those details, but my videos are for the nerds. Donut Media is very big, very popular. They got to do quick stuff.
Yeah, I have nothing. I think they did everything we asked them to do, and I think in some sense even more. You know, doing the collaboration with the.
We're taking a break. We'll be right. Lola and I are now official brand ambassadors for Coachman Class B. So I wanted to take a moment to tell you guys why we, as VanNoisSeurs, like it says on our t-shirt, are very excited about our partnership with Coachman Class B.
First off, Coachman RVs has been a leader to the great outdoors since 1964.
So next is the fact that Coachman really cares about you as an owner, whether you bought new or used. After you buy your van, they really take care of you.
With Coachman Class B, you have all the options. Coachman builds on all 3 van platforms. On the Mercedes Sprinter, it's the Coachman Galleria. The Ford Transit is the Coachman Beyond. And Ram ProMaster is the Coachman Nova.
Lastly, best value for money. We've had our van for 2 years, and Coachman builds to the highest standards of quality and craftsmanship. You can't go wrong with a Coachman Class B. So if you're interested, check out the link in our description and find the Coachman van that's best for you. All right, we're coming back in here. Okay, so in this last segment here, I really want to start off with, I don't know, it's probably a little bit of a tough question to ask you. And as I remind everyone out there, we are friends. We have known each other. We've broken bread together on multiple occasions and all that. You're kind of like the new boy or the new kid on the block, right, Pavel?
I am, and I tell you, Hank, it's been emotional. If I didn't have people like you in my life, I think I'd be like my employee, really discouraged and not doing what I'm
Mhm.
doing. But I'm just really thankful that I have people like you and Nick that, hey, Pavel, this is normal. This is all part of the learning curve, and just got to power through those comments and the people that don't believe in you, because it's your vision and no one's going to help you achieve it other than yourself and people like you guys.
Yeah, and Pavel may not like openly tell you guys this, but you are looking at a 27-year-old young man. Okay, so when I was 27 years old, I wasn't doing anything like that. I'm 51 years old, and I'm not doing anything like what Pavel's doing. I believe you were born here in the States, but your family comes from the Ukraine, right?
Yeah, we immigrated here in the late 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're looking at someone doing amazing things out there, taking massive risks, putting his entire family and lots of folks that work for you, that depend on you, at risk. And you're thinking big. This is what I like about you. You're doing this different and thinking big. But as the new kid on the block, obviously there's some other companies around, and I don't want to get into like going after the other companies or anything like that. But there's other companies around. Is a big part of this embarrassment because of, you make some big bold claims and then the other companies look at it and go, aha, look at this guy. He messed up big time. Is that like a big thing for you?
It is, because these other big companies, I, from a young age, looked up to them. I had cut out of catalogs and printed off their websites, pictures and videos, and I couldn't wait to the day that I would tour their factories and tell them how much, I appreciate what they do and I love the work that they do. So to, fast forward to having my own company and, being responsible to feed 37 families and making sure their paychecks come in on time, to kind of not get the support that I thought I would. It was an emotional moment for me, but like I said, people like you in my life were able to help me get past that.
Yeah, man, this is going to make you stronger, and I'm personally proud of how you are dealing with this. And I've seen you go through things before, right? This is how you deal with it. You take it on. It's your responsibility. You guys get better. You guys get stronger from here. That's on you. And I think all the companies out there have somewhere in their history gone through this. It's kind of the fire that makes your metal. So I think what I would like to know, and I'll take questions from other folks out there and put it up here as well. But I'd like to know, how are you guys going to go forward from here? Is this going to change how you're doing builds, how you're making your builds more off-roadable? Because everything that you build, the van, the pickup truck, and this as well, everything is off-roadable. So what are you going to do going forward here?
Most definitely. I always tell my team, every incident that a client or influencer or YouTuber, for in this case, makes on the road, it's not an accident. It's an experience, an opportunity for us to be better. And every warranty claim that comes through one of our almost 100 vehicles on the road, in this YouTube channel, we write an entire policy. We go back to the drawing board and make our units better. And I think that's what really sets us apart. If you go back 3 years, you won't find the issues that we had 3 years ago today. And in 10 years, when we are the leading industry standard in the expedition vehicle market, you won't see us having the same problems we had today, is what I want to be very clear on.
Okay, and so if there's prospective buyers out there who were thinking about getting something from you, but maybe, seeing this gives them some trepidation, what would you say to those guys, if they're out there and they're like, oh man, now I have some doubts?
Yeah. I would say, get to know us on a personal level, and you will understand how we will exceed not only your expectation, but what the industry standard is today in regards to our quality product and quality service. And, talk to our clients. We have close to 100 clients all over the road in the country, and they will all tell you a similar experience. There are issues that happen anytime you take a house-like structure and you put it on a vehicle and you try to make it push the limits of what either one is designed for. There's going to be problems that arise, and we take pride in our 24/7 customer support line, with a 36-hour turnaround time on average for any issue that may or may not arise.
Yeah. Well, when you buy something, I always tell people, folks out there, buy the people behind the thing. You don't just buy the thing, right? You buy the folks behind that. And I agree with you. Anything could go wrong with this. I've been doing the van thing now for a few years, and there's some really good companies out there, some maybe not so good. But anywhere that you get something from, if it's a house and a car going down the road, something could go wrong. So it really comes down to who those people are, and can you trust them? Do they stand behind what they do? Let's see. I'm gonna give this comment from Living Working Outside the Box. He or she, I don't know, could be either one. They do support this channel, and they watch a lot of videos, make a lot of comments. I appreciate that. They say absolutely. Hold on, let me put it back up here. Absolutely, 100%. It's a prototype that still was built better than 80% of other RV companies. It's next to impossible to think Pavel and his team had everything dialed in. Looking forward to the next level.
Oh, I appreciate it so much. I need more supporters like that in my life.
Yeah. Don't let this get you down, man. Don't let this get. I think this is going to make you a lot stronger and build a lot better product out there, especially from the way you're not just like burying your head in the sand or hiding, somewhere under the bed or in the closet from the monster of whatever this is. So, there you go. I mean, he said, they say he, by the way, David. Shout out to David out there. Go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you, David. I appreciate you. I'm going to follow your channel and go like all your videos. So thank you. I always tell, we have contracted buyers, we have prospect buyers that did, call and say, hey, we were looking at buying your unit. Your competitors showed us this video. Your competitors are telling us this. What do you got to say? And all I got to say is look at big picture. We tackled crosswinds. You can drive this truck through crosswinds. How many other truck expedition builders can say that out there? Who else is building a non-square rectangular shape? We tackled the security system. We're one of the first in the industry to use a stainless steel camera that doesn't scuff, doesn't scratch, proven in the marine application. And the list goes on and on. I don't want to take up this channel, boasting about how great we are. I just say, give us a chance. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, give us a call, come to our product. We let prospect buyers take our prototype out. So if you're interested, come get in touch with our team. We'll let you take it out and let you make your own assessment on it.
Absolutely. Mr. Champlain says this interview should definitely help remove doubt about your company vision. Keep up the great effort. You will succeed. And Deborah says more people will watch the progress you make now, so it's raised your company profile.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Travel Dreamer 46 says your company and vision is awesome. Keep the mindset that Henry Ford had when he manufactured his first vehicle. Keep pushing forward.
Oh, thank you. You're going to make me emotional, Hank.
Listen, I don't want to get into too many details and stuff. I understand how competition is, right? That's for everyone. That's on all sides. Everyone goes through that. When I mess up, I'm sure people go, look at this mess up that Hank made. And that's good. That's why everything should be out there in the world. It makes us stronger when we're honest with ourselves, when we can, look in the mirror and see who we really are and then go, okay, I've got to do better and fix this. So, but I was looking at this with someone who builds RVs, and that person looking at it didn't beat up on you. They said, you know what? When we started building RVs, we had issues. We made mistakes. And this thing actually looks pretty good, and mistakes happen, and you have to just move on from that. So, it's part of this business, this world really that you got into. And I think a lot of people will. I agree with the comments folks are making. So what's next from here, Pavel? What's next? What are you guys doing next?
What's next is I put a personal goal that I'm not going to go into production until we have 50,000 miles of testing. And so we're at about, I'm looking at speedometer now, 22,114 miles. So we have about 6 more months of extreme off-road testing. We got a professional flying in from Anchorage, Alaska. I can't quite disclose his name yet to build up the surprise and anticipation. He's going to go put a couple thousand miles on it. And once we have all this data, we're going to incorporate it into the prototype. So we're going to upgrade the prototype on everything that we've learned. And then if all goes by plan, spring of 2024, when our R&D wraps up, we go into production and full-scale production in our new state-of-the-art facilities here in Springfield, Missouri.
All right, cool. I'm looking forward to seeing those facilities. Lola says, clearly Pavel will be working to correct the issue and with the Ascender on the next model. In time being, what's next? So I know. So coming up, can we talk about this? I think we can. Can we talk about the Rex Rover a little bit?
Yeah, so one of the things we've been learning as we're going through all these big trade shows, so SEMA, Fort Lauderdale, some of the biggest trade shows in the world, we could never afford or make those happen, but there's people that believed in us and helped us get into these shows, helped us get our name out there. We found that, a lot of people, they want an entry-level expedition truck. And so we partnered up with an extraordinary manufacturer that's been doing it for over 10 years, close to 20 years in the industry. And we made an F250 model. This model is unique in that it's, very lightweight, very easy to drive. And then what my favorite aspect is all aluminum interior cabinetry, so you're not having, the common issues you do when you take a traditional RV off-grid.
Okay. And I was talking to Nick Schmidt of Sunshine State RVs, and, he says that the Rex Rover, the first one, is going to be at Sunshine State RV August 1st. So
yes sir, we're hosting a big barbecue there, so if you're in the area or you want to come out and meet us and kind of be a part of our journey, we'd love to see you there. Free barbecue, we're gonna have some music, some guests there, featured guests. I don't know, Hank, if you want to go in and say anything on that subject.
Yeah, well, I'll be there for sure. So myself and Lola will be there, and we'll do some stuff, with you. And look, like what we do with everything, we test to the best of our abilities things. So when you guys see me, I think at some point I'm getting that Ascender. I'm supposed to be on the list, right?
Yes, sir. You are on the list. I didn't want to ruin the surprise, but if you're going to say, I'm going to confirm it, yes, Hank, you're next on the list to take.
Yes, and when I get that, now keep in mind, I'm in Florida. So it's kind of flat out here in Florida, but we have our own challenges out here. We have sand, we have mud, we have lots of hot temperatures, bush, swamp, gators. I'll see if I can get a gator. But I can't necessarily do what the guys at Donut Media did. And this is why I think they did a service for everyone out there, right? Because they're in that area, they could have gone up that mountain. But I'm going to try to do, to the best of our abilities when we get our hands on the Rex Rover, when we get our hands on the Ascender, and anything else that 27North makes. I'm going to try to give you guys as much as we can give you. Of course, that's not going to necessarily show everything, right? And although I have been known to break stuff, Pavel, if you think the Donut Media guys are bad, I've been known to break stuff also. So
hey, I think they're phenomenal, and I'm excited to see what you can do. If you can reach a new horizon, find a new way we can be better. I'm willing to do anything it takes to be better. I don't know about you. I think you're in the same scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to build a mountain in Florida to do what they did, or I'll have to take a real long trip out to the mountain. But no, I think you're very early in your journey, and I think that these kind of things, when they happen to folks out there early in their journey, it always comes down to how they react to it. I had a comment from a friend of mine on my side that creates videos, that does van stuff, and he said, wow, this is really embarrassing, and I understand how it could be embarrassing, but the way you deal with this is you get in front of it, you fix the problems, you move forward. That's what's important. And do you think that in the future, you might get the Ascender back in front of Donut Media? That's a question that I think some people out there would probably like to know the answer.
I cannot confirm or deny it this time.
Okay. I think they would be more than happy, but I can't speak for them. And I think folks would love to see that happen out there. So listen, we've got like less than 5 minutes here. I don't know if people have other questions. I could go back. I think there was a question that I didn't get to. Let me see if I can find that really quick. Okay, so Greg Savage says the Class B that I need has to have the ability to store my very expensive all-wheel drive e-bike inside, or leasing a strong clothes box attached to the back, built so similar to Hank's lithium generator, etc. So I don't know. You guys, I think, will be doing stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I'd recommend our Venture 144 model. It sounds like that aligns with what he is looking for.
Yeah, yeah. So can we get some more looks at the at the Ascender here? Let's do that while we're waiting to see if there's more questions or comments coming in.
One
Mhm.
feature called the bridge here, and let me know if you can see that.
Yeah. Okay. So say that again. You broke up a little bit.
I like the bridge here. As you can see, the bridge is really unique in the sense that it allows, like, if you have a pet with you, or children or grandchildren traveling, they have the ability to access the back.
Okay.
It's made out of real walnuts, so it's a walnut center console.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're breaking up a little.
And then it's
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep. Yep. I got you. Yeah.
So it's got an iPad in the front that controls everything. So if you're outside by the campfire, you're on your iPad, you can pull up an app and you can, play your music, control your temperature, get your hot water heater working, seeing how your battery usage is, seeing how much solar is coming in, how much power is going into it. I think that's another, unique feature that I really like, and it stands out to me. Another thing that I really like about it is the fact that the shape gives it that aerodynamic. So we were seeing our fuel consumption actually be a couple, I would say, I think it was, I can't remember the exact number, so I'm just going to round up. It was like 7 or 9% better than the industry standard. And that was just due to being able to cut down the weight and make it more aerodynamic.
Okay, so that's the reason for that weird shape of the Ascender, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can either find the picture and show it to folks again. Let me see if I can go here and show that. So, let's see. Let's go back to you, and then I'll just switch the camera over to my phone here. Boom. So that's the reason for that shape there in the background. Someone said it kind of looks like like there's a bug that looks like that. Has this big, huge back on it.
Yeah. So what we're trying to tackle with it, we've made some adjustments for our production model. Is we're trying to tackle crosswind, aerodynamic, and drag in the back. So being able to tackle all those, it was a vision of mine from the start that's now become a really awesome reality.
Okay, and so, like, for example, with the movement that you see when it's driving, you think I know we're probably going back over something we talked about earlier, but the new suspension setup that you're going to do, you think that's going to correct some of that?
Most definitely. So it won't be as drastic. So it needs to have that movement in the flex. Otherwise, it's your interior is going to sustain damage. Oh, that's another key feature. Like, there's so many things that we accomplish. I just wish people would acknowledge at least one of them, like our air filtration, the way we mount our cabinetry. Like, did anybody highlight that the countertops didn't fall apart, the door didn't fall off? Like, they went at a pretty fast speed up this slope. Like, you'd never want to go this fast up a slope. Not a single cabinet fell off, guys. Not a single crack in the quartz. Not a single crack in the seam. We had a couple of people that didn't believe it. So they came out here to Missouri, and they were like running their hands along the shell, the seam.
Okay.
Not a single crack.
That's
I think
good.
That's a huge accomplishment of its own. Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. Listen.
The fact that the shower door swung open and one of their bags fell off because they didn't mount it. I mean, why would you judge, why would you judge something on an accident? I don't know. I guess that's maybe just me.
People, this is how we are as human beings, but I think that's the thing that pushes us forward and makes us better. Deborah says, thanks, Pavel and Hank, keep ascending. you know. And I'll
I
tell
love
you, we got mostly thumbs ups in this video. I think we got we got at least one thumbs down, which is fine. You know,
Yeah.
you're never really doing well unless you get some thumbs down. So I'm not mad at anyone that's mad at us for doing this. And what I would say to you is
Yeah.
really to, you know, in a 15-minute video, which is the pretty much the average of what big guys like Donut Media are gonna do, and very, you know, that's kind of like what the audience out there, you know, the endurance that audience is going to have. You're really just not going to get a lot of stuff. So, for example, on someone like me, I'm not as big as those guys, and I do longer, you know, I try to do more detailed videos. Some people say sometimes there's just too much talking, but where I'm trying to give you an opportunity to get more questions answered and all that kind of stuff. You know, we have like a longer view duration on our video, so I think when I get my hands on it, I'll do something longer for you folks, and hopefully that'll give you more insight. But you know, this is not, you know, this is not a bad thing. Okay, Lola has a comment here. Go ahead. Go ahead. No,
I was just thinking, like,
Mhm.
they did a 15-minute recap of like the 3 coolest things and the 3 things that went wrong. And
Mhm.
it's like, if you put on a scale all the things that we accomplished, all the things that are working, that are phenomenal, the crosswind, the aerodynamics, the security system, the Kevlar coating, the cabinetry, and the way we mounted to the wall, and how it went at a fast rate up a 30-degree slope, and not a single piece except the door latch to the shower, which only got damaged because the bag fell on it. Like, nothing inside got damaged. Like, can we highlight all those accomplishments? And then honestly, if you put all that on in a ratio of the drive shaft, and I think it's a minute percent.
Yeah, yeah. So here's Lola's comment. She says one of the things mentioned in the Donut Media video is the materials used, glass, wood, etc. Will Pavel consider using lighter materials in the future? I think someone did ask this, but you can answer that question again.
Yeah, so we have 2 versions of this sender. We have the utilitarian one, which is the Rex Rover, proven phenomenal design, aluminum, lightweight. I can't disclose our panels yet due to pending patent, but it's gonna be significantly lighter. And then we offered this, the high-end Ascender, which is the leathers, the walnuts, and that's just similar to, a yacht or a high-end jet. That's just what that demographics want. Once again, you and I don't have to agree to it. We just have to understand. Some people, they like that luxury feel and look inside their expedition vehicle or RV, and while some other people, they prefer that utilitarian version. That's why we offer both.
Absolutely. Okay, and last comment here is from Living Working Outside the Box. David says, please keep us informed about the meetup at Sunshine State with Nick August 1st. Yes, it's going to be August 1st. I think it's going to be all day. Sunshine State RV is something like a 9 to 5 kind of thing. What day is August 1st? Is that, let me see, I got to look it up now.
I think it's a Monday.
Is it a Monday?
Yeah.
Tuesday. It looks like Tuesday. So August 1st is Tuesday. So I'll be there. Pavel will be there. The Rex Rover will be there. Nick of Sunshine State RV will be there, and I guess we'll have some other stuff going on, barbecue, all that kind of stuff. Please come down and hang out with us. I'll try to make another video to invite people to come out there and do that. I do want, before I'll let Pavel have the last words here, I do want to remind everyone, tomorrow we're going to have Nick Recchio of Coachman coming on to do the regular podcast with us, regular VanNoisSeur. So that'll be episode 5. This is episode 4, which is my favorite number. Oh, we got another comment coming in. Travel Dreamer says, Pavel, they highlighted your company because you are a contender. Focus on your growth and improvement. Even Elon Musk had a window shatter on a reveal of a prototype. True. And I immediately
looked at it that way.
I immediately went and put my money down on the Cybertruck. So I'm waiting for that Cybertruck to come out. I don't know if you have any plans of building something off of a Cybertruck, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll just leave it at that. That's amazing. I never thought about it that way. Thank you, whoever you are. Much love your way. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would just like to say in conclusion, to the 5,000 or 7,000 negative comments, messages we got. I heard you. I understand where you're coming from, and my request to you is to try and understand where we're coming from. And then to the 11-ish million that are continuing to support us and wishing the best for us. I appreciate it, and I look forward to showing you exactly what we're working on, and defying a new industry standard in the expedition vehicle market and making you proud.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for coming on, Pavel. I really appreciate you doing that, and I look forward to seeing you here in about a month. And I would invite the folks out there to go look at other stuff. If you haven't seen the video from Donut Media, go check that out as well. Thanks so much, Pavel. You stay right there. Thanks to everyone. Smash those thumbs ups. We're on the way out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you guys then. We're out. Peace.